Welcome to News with XGN, your source for all things video games. I'm your host Xanthi S, and we'll dive into some interesting news from the video games industry. Before I continue with the news, if you enjoy the content here, consider subscribing. It helps our channel a lot. Now, today's news, we have Baldur's Gate wins Hugo Award, Resident Evil 2 is soon here, and some news from Gamescom. Let's go to our first story. Baldur's Gate 3 wins Best Game or Interactive Award at the Hugo Awards. So you may ask, what is the Hugo Awards? So from their website, we read that the Hugo Awards, first presented in 1953 and presented annually since 1955, are science fiction's most prestigious award. These awards are given during Worldcon, the World Science Fiction Convention, to literary works both from the science fiction or the fantasy genre. Some of the prize categories include Best Novel, Best Novella, Best Short Stories, Graphic Stories, and more. Some notable Hugo Awards winners include Isaac Asimov, William Gibson, George R.R. Martin, and Neil Gaiman. Now, Baldur's Gate, that has gathered so many awards already for its exceptional, everything, won the award for Best Game or Interactive Work. This category is not part of their standard categories, only a temporary one. However, it's the second year that this award was given, with Hades being the first video game ever to win a Hugo Award back in 2021. Now, other video game nominees that were together with Baldur's Gate 3 this year were Alan Wake 2, Chants of Sennaar, Dredge, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Let's hope for more Hugo Awards from the video game industry in the future. Now, next story. Resident Evil fans, this one is for you. The original Resident Evil 2 re-release will be available on 27th of August on GOG.com. This is an original re-release, not to be confused with the remake of 2019, and it is also confirmed that it is based on the 1998 version of the game and not the 2006 version that was available in Japan. The difference is that the 2006 version had improved graphics on their full motion videos. The original Resident Evil 2 has some plot and weapon differences with the Resident Evil remake from 2019. The latter has some minor or bigger plot changes, as well as lesser or fewer enemies, but also more weapon options, specifically the introduction of sub-weapons. If you want to experience the original version, then the upcoming re-release is best for you. You'll be able to purchase it directly on the GOG.com website. The first Resident Evil re-release was out on June 2024, with the Resident Evil 2 being available now this August. So since Resident Evil 3 is already showcased as coming soon on GOG, it might be possible that it will follow the same time pattern and become available sometime in October, but we can't confirm that yet. Now let's go to our next story. We had so many news from the Gamescom exhibition this year, which I haven't managed to gather them all. And honestly, there were so many announcements that will take some time to go through them all. But that's okay, because we are not in a hurry in this channel. More news from the Gamescom will appear in good time. However, I want to mention briefly two things that caught my attention. The first one is Borderlands 4 is happening. During the opening night live hosted by Jeff Keighley, we got to see this trailer. The definitive looter shooter arrives in 2025. See if you have what it takes to go down in history as a legendary vault hunter as you search for secret alien treasure, blasting everything in sight. Additionally, someone on Twitter said that looks like Handsome Jack is back in Borderlands 4, but Randy Pitts for Gearbox boss replied, "Yes, looks like Handsome Jack is returning for Borderlands 4," said the original tweet. But Randy Pittsburgh said that's not Handsome Jack, that is something far more dangerous and sinister. So we will see. We will see. Now, the other thing from Gamescom that caught my attention was not a new announcement. We know about this for a while, but it's about Dune Awakening, the new open world MMO that takes place in the Dune universe. Now, it showed some gameplay footage that seemed very interesting, and I'm looking forward to it. They had a 26 minutes of gameplay presentation, and I really hope that the final game is as good as it looks like on that video. And I'm gonna put the link in the description below so you can go and watch it yourselves. That wraps up this week's edition of News with XGN. I'm your host Xanthi S, and thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to check out our video games RSS feed website, GameNewsBytes.com. Like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and also keep an eye for our streaming schedule where myself and my co-host Crimskull and Amy Cute are streaming playing video games, Borderlands among others, usually on Fridays. Thank you so much for joining me, and see you next time. Bye bye.